So it was a very sunny day on a good afternoon on June 1st, 2023. So 2 years ago, about 2 years ago. And on this day, I was going to the beach with my friends, my friend, my cousin, and my man's homie, right? My friend's homie. On this day, we went on the beach. You know what I'm saying? And while we was on the way to the beach, we ate half the gummy. I didn't really feel anything. On the way to the beach, uh, again, I didn't feel anything. So we used the bathroom and things like that, and ate some food. And then I was like, let me get another half. This is where the story takes a turn. So I get the half of the gummy. Now I'm low key feeling the effects of the gummy, right? I didn't mean press that. I start feeling the effects of the gummy. Now it's slowly but surely taking its time. It didn't like get too extreme, but it like I felt it. So when I first felt it, I didn't know what it really was, and it caught me off guard, right? So I told my friend, he told me go to the water or start walking around, calm down, things like that. I started doing that, calm down a little bit. But as soon as I left or went back to the from the water, start walking around, it started to pick up more. So as it starts to pick up more and more, I catch a panic attack, right? And during this panic attack, when I was in this panic attack, um, I start to like overly like get scared. I started to catch a seizure. So when I caught that seizure, stuff starting to happen. Caught the seizure, fell to the ground. I'm trying to the seizure stops for a moment, and I'm trying to get back up. Why is it so dark? And while it stops, I get up. I'm walking around again. They said put water. They start giving me water because I was dehydrated. Mind you, it's mad hot. It's like 90 something degrees outside. It's mad hot outside. So they started to give me water. I'm drinking the water, things like that. Well, trying to drink the water. I'm still like panicking and like not really locked in for real. You know what I'm saying? And start to start to feel my chest beat constantly, but like more like intense, more and more and more and more. And why is it so hard trying to remember the story? And I fell as that was the heart rate started going up more and more. I low key high key. I started to feel like as it kept on going, I could feel like my heart beat so fast, and then all of a sudden, I'm like falling down, like it started to hurt. That I like slowly fell to the ground, and then I could feel my heart rate low-key drop a little bit, more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And once that is happening, like my heart rate started dropping more and more. My heart rate started dropping more and more. I felt like I heard. Well, I didn't feel like, but it felt like my heart just went quiet. Like there was no peak. This be fine. What I got on right now. So I could feel my heart like stop for 2.5 seconds, and I could feel like I don't want to. I'm gonna say it. I felt like low key dark spirits was surrounding me and trying to pull me in to something that I shouldn't have been in. And I remember me literally crying out, literally crying out to God to bring me back. And I just kept repeating it over and over and over and over and over again. And I remember getting up and I seen this light. You see how like this light is shining on me right now, but imagine it more brighter to the point that you can't like see. And I remember I just kept on saying, "Bring me back, bring me back, bring me back, bring me back." And I remember getting up and walking to the specific light. The more I said it, the more it kept moving backwards, like it was helping me get on my feet again. As more I was saying it, the light gets smaller and smaller, and it's starting to form into like low key like a human. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? I don't really remember it totally, but I just know there was a light, and I was walking towards it. Mind you, the sun is somewhere up in the sky somewhere. It was clear. There was no sun when I passed out. So Yazzie, do not come in here with no BS, okay? I'm telling a serious story. But there was no sun up in this cloud. So this light was just I was just attached to this light. And I remember keep on saying, bring me back, bring me back, bring me back, bring me back. And I remember saying that just give me a second. I remember yelling at people, cursing at them. I was literally panicking. And I remember kept on going on for on and on and on and on. And I remember my friend telling me that he had to control me and help me calm down, but it didn't work. So the people like the emergency people just let me do what I had to do, and I just kept on doing what I had to do. What I kept on saying the same thing over and over again, and eventually I passed out. When I passed out, I woke up seeing mad people try to help me and put me on the stretcher. 'Cause that's what they did. They put me on the stretcher. I remember me spitting out either mucus or water. Because remember, they gave me water earlier. So, as this is happening, I remember waking up and my body was like fully like on fire. Like, it didn't feel like heat like from the sun. It just felt like somebody just torched me and just lit me on fire. Mind you, I have sand on me. The sun is like 90 something degrees outside. There's sand on me, and I'm just hot. But it's not like hot when it's like whoo, but it's like hot to the point where it's like it felt like my body was my body's on fire. So as they're putting me on the stretcher and stuff like that, I remember telling people by Yazzie. I remember telling people, um, I remember telling people that God is real and that if you don't believe in Him today, you will remember this moment. And I remember kept on saying that God is real, God is real, God is real. As I get into ambulance, I remember that the one and most important thing they told me was that my heart rate was over 300. And as a person, if you don't know, I have a serious heart condition, you know what I'm saying, called a hypoplastic left heart syndrome. So for the fact that it was at that level and my heart rate never gets past 100, it's crazy to me, but I'm just saying. Fast forward, we in the hospital and things of that nature. Gets a little personal from there, and I'm thinking like, ain't no way I'm still here. Ain't no way this is still possible. I remember peeing on my chest because I couldn't feel my chest anymore. I remember rubbing my feet because I couldn't feel the fingertips on my toes. Not the fingertips on my toes, but I remember I couldn't felt the like I couldn't feel my toes, so I had to make sure like I had to rub it together and things of that nature. I had to I was beating my chest the whole time so that I could feel my heart rate because I didn't feel nothing. My whole body was damn near numb. And they told my friends, well, they told one of my friends, they told my friend that I caught a stroke. One told me I caught a heart attack. One of them said I was hallucinating. Other people said this and that. Blase, blase, blase. Fast forward. Couple days after that, I was at work. Now this is the time where I was working at a night shift overnight. And I remember I was working and I seen from a distance, like I'm facing this way. I remember from the distance, I seen the shadow, but the shadow was dark. And I remember the shadow just looked at me. And every time I looked at it, it disappeared. And I looked back over here in the front of me, and every time I looked back, it disappeared. Now I look back over here, and then, you know what I'm saying, over and over and over again. That same night, probably the same day, or probably not the same night, probably no, or probably the next morning, next night. It's either or. It's either the same day or next night. I remember I was in my bed and I wasn't in this room because this room was being, it don't matter, but I wasn't in here. I was on the couch. Let's just say that. I was in the living room and I was sleeping, right? And I remember sleeping in my room, and I remember I had put on this thing called brown sound music. It's like people who has anxiety and stuff like that, they need to calm down. And I remember playing that in my ears while I was trying to go to sleep. And I remember a voice told me, well, not a voice, but I remember something that sounded like devilish. You know what I'm saying? It didn't sound like a human being. Speak to me. Man, I remember I woke up, played it back, and that voice was not there. There was no voice to be found. So, also remember that when I tried to go back to sleep, one point when I did go back to sleep, I remember someone calling my name, but it felt like my pops. My pops, when I woke up, was nowhere to be found. And then I asked him, he said he wasn't there. So, that scared me. So then, after that, after everybody went back to their rooms and went back to sleep, I'm still up, and I remember hearing voices telling me in GTA. I remember in GTA, they told me to and do this other things called the hospital, things like that. And I remember being scared. In GTA, this happened. And I remember like that low-key scared me. Cause I don't know what it was. I don't remember I was never that type to be like, you know what I'm saying? Have those type of feelings. So when this happened, it kinda scared me. You know what I'm saying? The seriousness come in. So because of that, for days and weeks, I remember hearing a voice, two voices tell me. One voice told me to go to a rage room to get all the anger out, I guess. The other voice told me to go to church. Obviously, I took the church route. So, one day, I randomly took my mom's V to go to church. I definitely did ask her to take the car. So I didn't just take it just to take it. I asked her. So, I took the V to church. Once I took the V to church, I remember, now mind you, I haven't been to this church for like 3 years. So this is my first time going back to this church for like 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So I remember going upstairs. So that's normally where I would go. and seeing nobody that I recognized up there. So I stayed upstairs until I seen this one person that I recognized, and I was like, you know what, I gotta go back downstairs. So I went back downstairs, went to the first row. Mind you, before I went to church, I just kept on getting this thought in my head that, like, you know how people go to church and they say they have, like, they're possessed by unwanted spirits. Let's just say that, right? That kept on playing in my head. So, that being said, I went downstairs because there was a balcony and then the floor. So I went downstairs to that floor, and I remember I sat with somebody I recognized in the first row, and I remember being in church, and the pastor that knows me called everybody to the altar if you needed to tell God forgiveness and things of that nature. So you know what I did? I went to the altar. Now when I went to the altar, it's something I don't really like to do in front of people is cry. So when I went to the altar, he starts saying things about, like, how God always got you, got your back, and things of that nature. Like, remembering that basically he's telling us that God is always going to be with you regardless, well, not regardless of the situation, but no matter what, if you got God by your side. So I remember he's saying that, and I broke down in tears. I broke down in tears, and I didn't care. I just remember, I just cried, just cried and cried and cried, and like I said, I don't like crying in front of people, so it just felt like I needed to do that. So I don't know if I'm telling this story the best way I can, but I'm trying the best way I could to tell this story. But yeah, so after that, I remember they did the oil thing where they go around and touch people's head with the oil and stuff like that. Mind you, I'm not trying to cry. First lady comes around, touch people with the oil, they're praying and stuff like that. Touch people with the oil. She touched me with the oil. I done broke down and cried again. When I tell you I don't like crying in front of people, and the fact that, you know, someone got me crying like this, it's insane. So I remember breaking down crying again, and I think it was offering about this time, and then the pastor was going to preach. Now, this is where, like, you know, like, for me, that I know God is always gonna be by my side, regardless of the situation. So, well, not regardless of the situation, but yeah. So, the pastor got up on the platform that he has, and he looks at me and he says, "Stand up." Now, I can't remember word for word what he said, but he said something to me, and I broke down and cried for the third time. Now, when I broke down and cried for the third time, this is like, it was this uncontrolling, like, I want to say spirit, but it was just like, it was just uncontrolled. Like, I couldn't stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, I couldn't let go of what I couldn't let go was happening to me. So he says my name, broke down and cried. Now, I'm breaking down and crying, but I'm like screaming to the top of my lung, no, no, don't let, no, 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 and all these other things. And I remember people being around me praying and things of that nature. And I remember the lady, which I'm gonna call my church mom, my second mom, my friend's mom, my best friend's mom. She was there. That's who I sat next to. And I remember she told me something and it calmed me down. Now, as they're praying for me and things of that nature, I just remember spitting out mucus. And mind you, I'm not sick. So I wasn't sick, so there was nothing wrong with me. Not physically sick, but sick in the spirit. So I was spitting out mucus and things of that nature. And I just remember the most important sentence or words, a couple words that I ever heard my pastor say. Well, before we get to that, I keep skipping over parts. Before we get to that, I remember that while they was praying for me, I remember what was when she said something to me. She said, um, say something, a specific word. I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm not gonna say what she said, but she said to say something in a specific way, and I said it. And I remember I got up, and I was looking at the ceiling, and all I remember is that same light that I seen at the beach is the same light that I see at the church. I don't know why I just picked up lotion. Don't mind that, but the same thing I seen is the same thing I'm looking at, and it's like it's like it's crazy to me because it's crazy that that's happening. How can yo? So yeah, I'm looking at the ceiling, and the same beacon of light that I seen at the beach is the same one I seen at church, and all I remember is saying that you're real. All I remember saying that God, you are real. You are real. You are real. The same way I was saying bring me back, it's the same way I was saying you are real. I just kept on repeating it. Now, did I drop a couple curse words and then say sorry after that? Yes, I did. But that was just me being genuinely shocked to see, like, to feel his presence right in front of me in a church after the stuff I've been doing. That's what, like, shocked me the most, because it was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. You know, I'm gonna get to what she said, and then I'm gonna say what I want to say. So, me saying that, I remember I fell down to the ground, head like this, and I'm just looking, like, just crying, like, you're real, like, you're really real. And I remember she saying these words: "You've been feeling this pain for 3 years." Ladies and gentlemen, I haven't been to that church for 3 years. So how would she know that I'm feeling the same pain, this pain for 3 years, and I haven't been here, never talked to no one, never said anything to anybody? How would she know that I'm feeling pain? I've been feeling this way for 3 years. How would she know that? That's what shocked me. Like, and then the crazier part of that is that when I was laying there, my man's aunt, I don't know if I'm gonna just say it. My man's aunt was sitting next. What's up, Quad? My man's aunt was laying. Well, not laying. She was over next to me, and I remember looking at her, and she was crying. How was she crying for something that I never talked to her about? I never said nothing to this like, I haven't talked to nobody that I knew closely for like 3 years. So how would she be crying and feeling the same pain that I'm feeling knowing that I haven't said nothing to nobody. You know what I'm saying? That's what shocked me. 3 years of pain is what she said to me, and then you got someone sitting like praying over me, crying, saying I could feel I could feel what he's feeling. That was crazy. Like, you could feel what I'm feeling, and you're like, that shook me. So, and then it took me a while to realize what that meant. It's like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. For before I got saved, for the 3 years that I was by myself, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna say by myself. The 3 years I was by myself, it just felt like I really didn't have nobody to turn to or talk to. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the people I worked with, but they wasn't like close friends. So at that time, they are now, but at that time they wasn't. So after that, you know what I'm saying, I got up and I began to take Christ serious. You know what I'm saying? Following the Lord serious. And it's basically my testimony. Why I came. It's still going. You know what I'm saying. My story is still not. It's still have chapters in it. It's still going on. You know what I'm saying. But I could say that throughout this journey, there's been a lot of ups and a lot of downs, and this is a hard journey to come by. But what I could say is that that day, I can't. No one can tell me that my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is he ain't real. You know what I'm saying? No one can tell me that he ain't real, bro. Before I was even saved, I was doing stuff that I wouldn't normally do regular on a regular basis. So the fact that he saved me on a place on a beach on a random June 1st of 2023, and then pivot me to go to church. I don't remember what day I went on that church, but whatever that random day was, to be to show him, like, not show himself, but to truly to truly I could truly see who he was, really made me want to take this walk even more serious than it was in 2023, because I got saved in 2023. Now it's 2025. Have I struggled since then? Yes, I have. Am I trying to get that fire and that spirit back that I felt that day when I got saved? Yes, I am. But I could say, if you feel like you have to be clean or perfect to follow Christ, you don't. Come ask you who you are, bro. He gonna do that for you. If you locked in with him like this, he's gonna clean it all away, gang. It's gonna clean it all away. I'm telling you, ain't nothing he can't do. So, with that being said, gang, like, I didn't find him at no church. I just found him on a random beach day, what I knew I shouldn't be doing or what I should have did that day, and he still pulled me to the path to be saved on a random Sunday at a church I haven't been to for 3 years. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you can't tell me that he ain't real. You know what I'm saying? That's low key my story. Now, if they didn't, now whoever didn't see it, they gonna see it on Instagram. I'm gonna chop it up and stuff like that. Yeah, that's my story, gang. Like, I don't know why I needed to share this story, but If you are someone who feel like you need to come to Christ, I mean, you need to be perfect in any way to come to Christ. You don't. You could be yourself. He's gonna. I swear to you. I'm not gonna swear to you. I could tell you, he's gonna change your life completely. Do a whole 180, 360, the whole shebang. So yeah, that's my story. Besides that,